Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Build. Now it's been a long time since I've actually come back into Minecraft and done a real time-lapse build. I'm really looking forward to this one. And as a side note, I'm going to be streaming right now, so check out twitch.tv/Sjin, because we're going to be playing on the Minecraft world that you see being built in the video now. So I wanted to build a wizard tower because I want to go into some of the magical mods in the All the Mods mod pack. So I'm playing on the All the Mods server. This is where we have the city and the farm. And I think Duncan's wizard tower is somewhere as well. But I'm going to have my own thing. So luckily enough, you can get world edit into the mod pack. And so I've used that to create a big empty space. I carved out a giant kind of squarish kind of rectangle and then filled it up with grass. And then using brushes from World Edit, you can see I've smoothed off the area, made it look a bit more natural. Now originally this was going to be a kind of cylindrical tower. And you can see there's two of those pink and black staircase blocks. Now they're not error blocks. I showed those blocks to Lewis and he was very confused. He thought those were textureless blocks. But they're actually in the game. So the way I want this tower to go is, I think every good mage tower needs accompanying towers around the outside. And so what we're going for is the first of what's going to be two very tall marble wizard towers to the left and right of our main tower. Now I started with a square base because using pure circles in Minecraft, it's a nice idea, but it gets difficult to maintain symmetry and can be very awkward to build with. So I'm using marble blocks from Astral Sorcery. They look kind of like marble blocks in the game anyway, but I'm using those, and within that kind of block set in Astral Sorcery, there's a whole bunch of different kind of blocks. There's a pillar block that you can see I'm using as well. There's a runed design block that looks pretty cool. But to also set off the tower a little bit more, I've got these golden fence posts. Now you can see me here copy and pasting, but I quickly realized that I didn't want to have a window segment to the tower on every single level. And so what I want to do is basically build the tower like a Lego kind of structure. I want a window layer and then a kind of standard non-window layer, just for decoration, to make it look more like a bit of a bland tower in parts. I mean, you can't just be gaudy everywhere. And then you can pick and choose with copy and paste on the segments to design your own tower. So we've gone up with the first block of the tower is a window block, a window segment. The second is one of those, and that's prismarine. You see there, that kind of teal, bluey, greeny block, that's prismarine. And I think that really sets off the marble quite well. It's the perfect color accompaniment. But we have a prismarine layer that's just a decoration. Then we have another window layer. Then we've added two more prismarine layers. Top of that, we're going to do the top of our tower. Now I'm reminded of how I designed some of the towers in... well, where was it? Lake Town? Was it Erebor? The Erebor build? But also, this reminds me of the Evil Fortress quite a lot. There were a lot of very tall towers on the Evil Fortress, and they were very fun to build. So on top of those pillars, we have a layer of marble blocks again, and they support what's going to be this prismarine teal, and I'm using prismarine stairs as well. Peaked roof that starts off shallow and gets very kind of steep at the top. Now the great thing about building when you have world edit is if there's anything ever like kind of square or round, you only have to build one corner. And once I built one corner of this roof, I copied that region, rotated it 3 times, 90 degrees, and pasted it down again. Now the tricky thing about this is it kind of displaces where some of the stairs are and where they face, because while the stairs are copied, they don't change direction, so you kind of have to go back in and fix those steps. And here we are. that's pretty much the finished tower. There's a few minor alterations that I make after the fact, but that's just Minecraft building. You always come back, you always add little changes here and there, whether it's these prismarine supports at the bottom, all around the sides, or if it's dangling down golden fence posts with lanterns to light up your tower in the night. You always come back, and here again, for example, you see some marble staircases that are used as supports on the different tower rings. Well, that's one tower done, and again, because we're using World Edit, we have the magic of the copy and paste tool. It's a pretty cool tool. But what it means is, and here you go, I'm just going to copy this. What the tool means is I'm going to copy this whole tower and paste it somewhere. First I'll move it a bit to the side because it was a bit too central. You know, scale is a bit of a difficult thing to grasp before you build something, so I wanted to make sure I plonked it far enough away from the middle so I'd have time to build an even bigger tower in the middle. Now the middle is marked off, like I said, with those purple and black blocks. But the real tricky part now is doing the math. And oh my god, Minecraft is all about the math. But it's working out exactly where the tower is in relation to the middle and how I can get the other tower on the right hand side and still have those two blocks be perfectly central. But not only that, I wanted to make sure that the towers were on the same level as well, so they looked symmetrical in height also. The first paste was a bit too high, as you can see, so I had to bring that sucker down just a few blocks. Any minute now. And there you go. Is that a bit too high still? Whatever I finished at, I think that is correct. It's just the perspective here makes it look like it's a bit taller. But now that they're perfectly level, it means we can connect bridges between the two and not have any issues with different heights. Now, for the tower in the middle, it's not going to be a tower from the ground up. We're going to start with a square base that's going to be our outer courtyard. And it's going to have some pretty intimidating and big walls. So you can see I've used wooden logs in the background between the two towers to connect up at that first window level. That's going to be the base ground level for our foundation block. And I've used white concrete roads coming out of that towards what's going to be the front of the tower, because we're going to have a nice big long elaborate bridge to get to our wizard's tower. And now I'm designing a framework to hold that road in place. And you can see here a little bit closer that this is what we've gone for with the design of our wall. It's got that weird trophy from the Twilight Forest of that, is that an Urghast? Or yeah, I think it might be the Urghast, but it's a tentacly beast that looks kind of cool. And we copy and pasted that across the front of the walls. And I think maybe it's a bit too many tentacle beasts, but we'll see about that. We'll come back and perhaps remove some of the extra ones and maybe even just mix and match, so every other window here has an Urghast in it. But we'll see. And anyway, I had to shore up the middle as well, because this is where the bridge is going to come out, so it has to look a little bit different. Now, as I said, this is a long, elaborate bridge, but this episode we're only doing the framework. So what you see is very much a work in progress. As with all builds, like I said, you always come back, you always want to modify and tinker with things. So we have these kind of key-shaped support struts. Now I threw in these rainbow bricks because I wanted to use some color. I wanted to splash a little bit of extra color around. And they're exciting bricks. I like them a lot. But I wasn't sure if they really fit with the white and the teal aesthetic that we had. I do think after I built these side support struts, I did come back and replace those with black and purple. But again, I'm not even sure if I'm happy with that. Like Lewis says, they look a bit like the block's missing a texture. So I might be changing that at some point in the future. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments section about that bridge bit. Now, as well as the support struts, I wanted to add a little bit of extra depth to the bridge. So you can see me here building along with white marble platforms, the half slabs, and adding also marble and prismarine steps underneath just to make the bridge a bit more chunkier, give it a bit more body. But it's still going to be a very delicate bridge because I like the idea that the bridge is a kind of delicate bridge that's almost held up by magic, because that's just how powerful we are. Now, adding the supports and copying those over meant I had to modify the terrain slightly, but here we go. It's still very much a work in progress, but this is where we're at so far. Check out the front. Now, I'm not sure if I like that ornament, the archway that starts the bridge, so we'll probably change that at some point. But we definitely got the framework and a solid place to go forwards with. We've got that wall at the front with the Ergas. We can definitely repeat that. Here's a closer look at the detail there. I like that. I like that a lot. It's like a cool looking temple feel. And as we come around the tower, you can see those golden fence posts that hang down and have those lanterns. The lanterns are from Immersive Engineering. So the main platform, the foundation, is going to be level with the walls you see at the front here. And then the bridge is concrete, so you run across it super quick. We're going to change the archway probably at some point. That's where we are so far. Well, thank you for watching Let's Build. It's been a real pleasure to come back and flex my my building skills. I'm still a bit new to this. I mean, it's been so long since I've built that I need to relearn a lot of the old things that I'd already learned. I might have to watch my own videos, go back and check some of those out to get some tips, see what I did in certain situations. If you're watching this when it comes out, I'm streaming right now on this Minecraft server, on the All the Mods server, so come check that out. And that's twitch.tv/Sjin. And we're just going to be hanging out, chilling out, from about 7 PM through till about 10 PM. It's a pretty fun crowd, it's a cool place to hang out. So I've been Sjin, and I'll hopefully see you on stream, but if not, I'll see you for the next episode of this Let's Build, because we will be coming back to this build, and there will be a video on YouTube as we progress with this build. But until then, take care.